welcome back everybody. Thanks for joining me again for the last in our 4-part series of quick and easy puff pastry recipe. In our previous 3 videos we covered puff pastry jalapeno poppers, cream cheese filled churros, which were unreal, Nutella filled croissants, and today we have the last but not the least, mini Brie filled puff pastry bites. I believe that I've had this dish once at a place called Fleming's Steakhouse. The warm Brie oozing out of the flaky pastry is truly a real treat. Now this is obviously an appetizer that needs to be eaten warm. That goes without saying. As are the other 3 dishes we covered. Since I've ended up with a lot of leftovers that I've had to refrigerate from these dishes, of course they needed to be heated back up again to have them with another meal. I found the best way to do that is in an air fryer. The jalapeno poppers put in a 400-degree air fryer for 8 to 9 minutes, returned them to nearly the same state as they were when they came out of the oven. The pastry was just as flaky and crispy as it was originally. Well, I'm ready to get going with the last dish in our series. I hope you are too. If that's the case, let's get over to the kitchen and get started. Okay, just like our last video, the Brie en Croute only has 3 ingredients. The first one being, of course, our puff pastry sheets. This one requires 1 sheet for this recipe. Then we need some Brie. Now here's where I'm going to run into a little bit of a problem. This recipe wants me to use little Brie mini rounds, and I couldn't find any. I did some checking into these Brie mini rounds and they're 0.9 ounces a piece. So this is an 8-ounce package here. If I can get 8 out of this and 8 out of another package, that'll give me the 16 I need, because this sheet of puff pastry is supposed to be cut into 16 pieces and then wrap the 0.9 or say 1 ounce piece of Brie in each one of the squares that we're going to make. But we'll see about all this in a minute. The last item that we're going to need is 1 good old-fashioned chicken egg for an egg wash. That's it. That's all we need. So let's go ahead and get our prep going. Okay, here's what I've decided to do. I'm going to try to get 4 pieces out of this piece of Brie using this cutter, and then divide each one in half, and that should give me the 8 that I need out of this piece of Brie. I'm going to take it and hit it with a little bit of cooking spray, because Brie is pretty sticky. All right, let's give this a try. Okay, that looks pretty good so far. Okay, now let's take these and divide each one of these in half. Okay, there's our 8 pieces. That came out a little bit better than what I thought. And this looks just about like what the mini Brie pieces look like. So I'm going to get the other one out, do the same to that. Then we can start prepping our puff pastry. Okay, there's our 16 Brie mini rounds, and I'll tell you the truth, these look just like the ones I saw in the pictures. So hey, where there's a will, there's a way, right? Let's go ahead and get our puff pastry prepped. Okay, there's our puff pastry. The first thing we've got to do is get this into roughly a 12 by 12 square. Now I know that this mat is 12 inches wide, so if I roll it this way and then turn it 90 degrees and roll it again, I should have pretty close to a 12 by 12. Okay, there we go. There's 12 inches. Now let's turn it 90 degrees and take it out to 12 inches this way. And that should be about right. Okay, that looks good. Now we need 4 pieces this way, 4 pieces this way to get our 16. And that should be close enough. We can stretch these a little bit to get them around the Brie. That ain't going to be a problem. These things are pretty flexible. Should not be a problem. Okay, let's set these aside, get our brie out, get them wrapped up, get the egg wash on. Okay, I did one here just to check it out. It looks like they're going to work pretty darn well, so I'll show you how I did those. I took this, stretched it out just a little bit, put in our piece of brie, came up, again, and again. And we'll give it a little pinch all the way around. And there's number 2. Well, let's do the other 14 and get some egg wash on them. Okay, there we have them. Let's go ahead and hit them with some egg wash now. Okay, there we have them. We got the oven preheated to 400 degrees, and these are probably going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, there we have them. Mine took about 21 minutes, and they look absolutely perfect. So I think it's time to try one. I think these would be great with a little bit of orange marmalade. I have some homemade raspberry jam here. I think a tiny bit of that just in the center of it would be really good. All right, here goes nothing. Okay, those are great. Just like I remember the ones I had at Fleming's Steakhouse. You really ought to give these a try out and go back and look at the other 3 videos too, because all of them are pretty darn good. So thanks for sticking with me through all 4 parts of our puff pastry series. This is the last one in it. I hope you enjoyed them. So I hope you and yours stay safe, keep cooking, and we'll see you next time on Check This Out.